Hope is in the air. And I know it's in the air because the talk about COVID has shifted to reopening our countries, reopening our economies, reopening businesses, which applies to you. Have you got your reopen strategy in place? If not, listen in today. My name is Shelagh Cummins, and I love nothing more than helping women entrepreneurs just like you to shift into action so that you launch, grow, and scale a profitable and sustainable business. And today, your power move is very straightforward. You are going to create your reopen strategy. It's time. Number one, you are either in a digital space or a physical space, or you have a little bit of both. If you have a brick and mortar, or if you have a studio or a gym or a retail store, or maybe you're a real estate agent, anything that involves an interpersonal, in-person conversation or exchange, then you need to understand exactly where your business falls in your country's reopen plan. Right now in Canada and the US, though the two plans are different, there are essentially 3 phases to reopening. Your job is to know which phase you fall into. If you're in the digital sphere, you work mostly online, or it's easy for you to deliver what you do online. There's less urgency to get this reopen plan in place, but it still needs to be a topic of conversation with your customers. Because chances are you have not been doing business as usual, and therefore we need to come up with the plan for business as usual. So here are 5 steps that you can take in order to help develop your reopen plan. Number 1, above and beyond, understand exactly which stage your business falls into. Do you qualify for the stage 1 reopen plan? In which case it's time for you to boogaloo and get your reopen strategy going today. If you are in phase 2 or 3, you probably at the time of recording of this video will have 2 to 4 to 6 weeks in order to then come up with that strategy. But it should be in place now based on the information that we have. Number 1, your job is to stay informed. Go to the nucleus of news. Go to the public health, your health ministers, the government. Listen to every single qualified government professional who is talking about the reopen strategy, and read everything you can about it so that you understand exactly what is required of you. Number 2, develop your protocols for reopening. If you run a physio clinic or a massage clinic, or you have an exercise gym, or you're a real estate agent, how you do work is going to change. So you need to develop your protocols of how you are going to adhere to the mandated guidelines for not only physical distancing, but also sanitization. How are you going to keep your employees safe? How are you going to keep you safe? How are you going to keep your customers safe? Once you have developed a protocol and figured out what that looks like, the 3rd step is to communicate clearly and frequently with your customers. Talk to them and tell them what's going on. Start to put their fears and insecurity at rest so that they know exactly what to expect when they start doing business with you again. Explain what measures you're taking to protect them and your staff during this reopening phase. Talk about how you're going to be monitoring the situation, how you'll know whether you're meeting all the guidelines. Walk them through their role in terms of being a client in your store or studio or physical space. Number 4, go slow. Be careful about opening up and thinking it's going to be business as usual. Start with a shortened workday, or knowing that you're going to see less people in a day, space them out more. You have to adjust to your new routines, and so do your patients. They will need some help on the first couple visits to get used to the new protocols that you have in place. So go for less, but do it really well. And then as the systems start to work and it becomes second nature for people, then start bringing more people in, as long as it's adhering to the guidelines that are put out by your local government. Number 5, observe what's happening from a place of non-judgment. Here's what I mean. It's going to be really easy to be watching what's happening in your space and saying, this doesn't work. This is the pits. I can only see this number of people. Let's just watch and see what's working really well, and then be able to shift and change and pivot so that we can adapt how you do business so that it works for everybody involved. Let's just take it one step at a time. For those of you that are in the digital space, guess what? Your business has never been closed. So if you have made changes to how you do business, your job is going to be to start talking to your community and your people about how you are going to be reopening, and all of those stories that you've been telling yourself about nobody's buying, I can't sell it, it's out of integrity for me to sell right now. Whatever that is, it's time for you to face the music and start shifting that story to being a place of service for your people. So it is time to start instilling hope and start supporting your communities, clients, and you through the reopen phase of your business. If you have any questions, pop them below. If you know somebody who would benefit from this information, please share it with them, tag them, email it to them, share it with them. And I so appreciate you tuning in. I will see you tomorrow.